Click the bell, turn on all notifications, and subscribe for around-the-clock WWE news in real time. The home of the most consistent and dedicated breaking news in WWE, SeanzViewEnt, is here for you. Like, comment, and share today.
The WWE, this is breaking news right at the top of the video, guys. Remember to like, hype, subscribe, click the bell, and turn on all notifications. Here is the thing that sources say every WWE fan watching tonight needs to understand before Raw starts on Netflix. Again, we're just a few hours away. If what TKO did on SmackDown made your blood boil with Pat McAfee, Randy Orton, the whole situation and storyline involving Cody Rhodes going to WrestleMania, if that made you mad, if that made you upset, if that made you have a little bit of criticism online, well, ladies and gentlemen, the creative decision that sent the internet into complete meltdown mode last week already had you at the absolute limit. Sources say you have not seen anything yet as concerns Raw tonight. What TKO did on SmackDown was a warning shot. Sources say what they just leaked for tonight's Raw is of the full arsenal. And the people inside that building who saw what happened and what TKO did on SmackDown and what they imposed on Raw tonight are using one specific phrase to describe the difference in scale between those two events. You ain't seen nothing yet. TKO just leaked WWE Raw changes tonight that nobody inside the building was supposed to show or know about before showtime. 3 programs changed simultaneously. One investigation already underway. And a swerve, viewers. A swerve inside this story that makes everything you think you knew about tonight's Raw completely wrong. And I am going to move fast. I'm going to hit every detail and give you the full picture in the next few moments. We start this right here and right now on what may be one of the most unexpected, one of the most shocking Monday Night Raws of the year. Whether that's going to be good, bad, or indifferent, whether that's going to be positive or negative, that will be completely up to you after Raw is all set and done. Let's move right into the program. TKO did not accidentally allow internal Raw information to reach the wrestling media today. Sources say someone inside WWE may have deliberately calculated a decision to go public with these changes before the show, before Triple H could make or, manage the narrative, before the talent could be briefed directly, before anyone could contain it. Sources say the SmackDown situation from Friday night from the Blue Brand on the USA Network was TKO dipping their toe in the water, testing how much they could impose on the creative product before the public relations became unimaginable. And sources say they got their answer. The reaction was loud, the outrage was real, and the fan backlash was documented and undeniable. And they did it anyway tonight for Monday Night Raw. Bigger, bolder, and more public. Much less warning and less regard for the people directly affected by the decisions. And here is what makes tonight generally different from SmackDown. Sources say the leak did not come from TKO corporate. It came from inside WWE itself, from someone with direct knowledge of both Triple H's original plan for tonight and TKO's decision to override it. Someone who understood that the only way to create pressure on TKO before showtime was to make the wrestling world part of the story before the show went live. This is not a whistleblower. This is not a strategist. Someone who weaponized fan outrage deliberately, who understood that TKO's sensitivity to public perception, given their Netflix and ESPN relationship, made a well-timed leak powerful than any internal argument could ever be. Sources say TKO knew and knows how this goes down. Sources say TKO knows this happened. An internal investigation is underway inside WWE tonight. The list of people with access to both versions of tonight's plan is short, and sources say the consequences for whoever is identified are going to be significant. But here is what sources say matters most about what is being leaked right now about Monday Night Raw tonight, the Red Brand from Netflix. What was leaked? Because sources say 3 specific changes TKO imposed tonight on Raw. The reveal, something about WrestleMania 42 that was never supposed to become public knowledge 3 weeks before the event. And this is where we vent. This is where we excited. But ladies and gentlemen, we have to pivot for one moment because breaking news just came out concerning Monday Night Raw and Netflix. Ladies and gentlemen, according to the dirt sheets, the websites, and the newsletters, Netflix is trending online, kind of like TKO was trending, but again, not for all the right reasons. Netflix trends after fans call out edited Brock Lesnar and Oba Femi crowd chants from last week on Raw. Netflix is under fire after fans spotted noticeable edits in the replay of the Brock Lesnar Oba Femi segment from Monday Night Raw last week. Your thoughts, your comments, and your opinion. So now you got Netflix under fire just for the fact that they got Raw on the show and they're editing it, they're watering it down, and then you got TKO who is under fire at the same damn time. And again, viewers, this is major. This is huge. Also, Mike Santana's TNA contract expiring sooner rather than you think. And the feeling is that Mike Santana could be coming to the WWE main roster and leaving TNA entirely. Your thoughts, your comments, your opinions, and your emotions on that. Also, Jade Cargill calls out Twitter for twisting narratives. And Jade Cargill explains why she prefers being a heel over the babyface. Also, breaking news on the late, great Psycho Sid Vicious, Sid Justice, or Sid, whatever name, whatever alias you want to go by. We all know he's going into the WWE Hall of Fame, very much deserving. However, Sid Vicious's family confirms no Hall of Fame speech planned for his induction, which is a very sad state of affairs if you're asking the brash and the brazen. Now, this was back in the day, and it was a Blu-ray release. They probably would have it on the extras or the bonuses of the DVD or the Blu-ray. Also, breaking news coming out right now, ladies and gentlemen, according to the dirt sheets, the websites, and the newsletters. NWA Power lands a new television home after a major announcement. Also, viewers, fans, and subscribers, MJF says that AEW dropped the ball by not producing Wednesday Night Wars documentary. Also, we are also receiving word that a massive WWE star was involved in a car wreck, a car crash, because according to the dirt sheets, the websites, and the newsletters at this hour and at this time, ex-WWE star and light heavyweight champion Takamichi Nuko involved in a car crash, leaving him bloodied and needing an ambulance. But luckily, he survived. But of course, as you can see, the foundation of that car accident was absolutely brutal. Also, Shawn Michaels reveals who first asked to use the Sweet Chin music, and Shawn Michaels reveals how he handles frustrated talent in NXT. Also, the dream match, The Rock versus Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid versus the Brahma Bull, a match that people have been wanting, and, well, just as much, The Rock versus Shawn Michaels is kind of on the level of what the people wanted with The Undertaker versus Sting, or Stone Cold Steve Austin versus CM Punk at a WrestleMania, which could very well still happen next year, guys. According to the dirt sheets, the websites, and the newsletters, that match could still go down because we all know about that Saudi money. Also, we got breaking news on Pat McAfee fires back at critics while backing Randy Orton's push at WrestleMania. Speaking about WrestleMania, how could you not mention the immortal Hulk Hogan? Netflix drops the trailer for Hulk Hogan Real American Documentary. And ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be memorable. That is going to be one for the epic books, let me tell you. That will be one that will go down as probably one of the greatest of all time. Also, another WWE personality hit with a suspicious crypto post as hacking concerns grow. Also, a top champion is expected backstage on Raw as WrestleMania heat builds up. Ladies and gentlemen, according to the dirt sheets, the websites, and the newsletters, it would appear as if SmackDown's own Jade Cargill will be on Monday Night Raw tonight. Whether she's in the ring or backstage, she is expected to be on camera. Also, Pat McAfee initially rejected WrestleMania 42 role before deal was reached because Pat McAfee knew the outrage, the backlash. He knew the criticism was going to be wild. He knew it was going to be off the chain. But Pat McAfee is going to go all the way with this one. AEW's future in question as Paramount secures a $24 billion for WBD takeover. Again, the future of AEW is absolutely in question at this hour, and that cannot be good if you're an AEW fan. Also, footage shows Oba Femi being hounded by autograph seekers outside his car. Your thoughts, your comments, and your opinions. Fans accuse Chelsea Green of hypocrisy over friendship with Marty Scurll. And the WWE Monday Night Raw preview for April the 6th. The current firm match is the start time and what TKO plans to do on the red brand of Raw that, again, if you got infuriated about what happened on SmackDown, you might have not seen anything yet, ladies and gentlemen. But here is what sources say matters more than who leaked it right now. What was leaked? Because sources say 3 specific changes TKO imposed on tonight's Raw reveal something about WrestleMania 42 that was never supposed to become public. Ladies and gentlemen, CM Punk and Roman Reigns first. Sources say TKO's change to their Raw direction tonight was not about creative quality. Triple H's original plan for this program was good television. Sources say TKO could change it because it suggests an outcome at WrestleMania 42 that TKO was not ready for the public to anticipate yet. They are protecting a finish, one that has already been decided in a boardroom, not in a creative meeting. Sources say when CM Punk found out today about this leak, he did not find out from Triple H. He found out the same way you did, through the leak, through the dirt sheet reports. And sources say Punk's reaction to that specific detail, not just that his program was changed, but that he found out about it publicly, was more intense than anything connected to the content of the change itself. Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton up next. Triple H had a specific creative fix prepared for the program following last week's SmackDown Backlash. A fix designed to restore fan investment into WrestleMania 42. However, it would appear as if TKO has removed that tonight, hours before Raw. Replaced it with a direction that sources say addresses none of the fan frustration and may actually make it worse. And remember, this is the same program that generated the Pat McAfee incident. The same program that had the internet in complete meltdown mode last week. Triple H had a plan to fix it tonight. TKO took that plan away, and sources say Randy Orton's response was 3 words, delivered quickly to one person in the locker room today. Sources would not confirm exactly what those words were, but sources say everyone who heard them understood immediately and completely what Orton meant. Brock Lesnar and Oba Femi are scheduled to be on Raw tonight. The most physically dangerous change of the 3. Lesnar has been demanding a Hell in a Cell match or a street fight for WrestleMania 42 for weeks. Today's leaked Raw changes gave them TKO's answer. The TKO answer is, well, no. Lesnar did not find out from Triple H. He did not find out from TKO. He found out through the leak, the same as CM Punk, the same as everyone else. And sources say the physical reality of Brock Lesnar processing the corporate disrespect delivered through a public dirt sheet report. It's something that people who witnessed it today will not quickly forget. Meanwhile, Oba Femi has said nothing, done nothing, reacted to nothing. Sources say Femi has been moving through the building today with the quiet, absolute certainty of someone who already knows exactly how this story ends, regardless of what the leak says. And sources say the silence is the most unsettling thing in the building tonight for Raw because everyone else is reacting. And Femi simply is not. 3 programs, 3 public humiliations disguised as corporate decisions, 3 parts of performance finding their way, and their WrestleMania 42 plans were changed through a public dirt sheet report before anyone else told them directly. But sources say none of that is the most significant development of today. You're going to want to stay with me for this one. Sources say the leaker did something else today that nobody else saw coming. Something that changes what exactly happens on tonight's Raw in the most unexpected way possible. That, viewers, that is next. The leak was a weapon. The investigation is underway. The talent is furious. And now the swerve inside the swerve that sources nobody inside WWE anticipated. You're going to want to stay with me for this one. Sources say the person who leaked tonight's Raw changes did not leak the TKO version. They simultaneously leaked Triple H's original plan directly to the talent affected by the changes. CM Punk, Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, Brock Lesnar, all of them received both versions today. What Triple H planned and what TKO replaced it with. That changes everything about tonight's Raw because professional wrestlers performing live in front of the real audience have always had one power no corporation can fully control: the moment itself. And sources say the conversation happening in that locker room right now as Raw prepares to go live is the most significant creative direction and decision of the entire WrestleMania 42 season. And sources say TKO knows that this is a possibility, that the investigation underway is not just about finding the leaker, it is about trying to anticipate what goes live on air tonight that was not in any approved script. Because a live wrestling broadcast with performers who have both versions of the plan and a genuine reason to choose between them in the one scenario that TKO's corporate control structure has no answer for. The most entertaining wrestling television has always happens when nobody, not the wrestlers, not the writers, not the promoters, know exactly what comes next. And sources say tonight at Raw, that energy is more present than it has been in years. TKO thought that they were demonstrating control today. Sources say what they actually did was create the conditions for the most genuinely unpredictable Raw broadcast in recent memory. Also, the leak, the swerve inside the swerve, and tonight's Raw more unpredictable than anyone has planned. And one final question about WrestleMania 42, viewers, fans, and subscribers, with a genuinely surprised answer. Stay with me. TKO wanted control today. They thought leaking these changes publicly established that control, showed Triple H and other talent that the fan base who has the final word. They're the ones that have the final word. TKO's the one apparently in control. But sources say what they actually created is the most genuinely uncertain WrestleMania 42 season in years, because that moment you put both versions of a plan into the hands of performers with genuine investment in the quality of what they produce, you have lost control of the outcome, not on paper, but in reality. Because the people performing inside that ring tonight are not corporate assets responding to a leaked document. They are professional wrestlers, and sources say tonight at least some of them are going to remind TKO exactly what that means. And all boils down to your thoughts, your comments, and your opinions. TKO thinks they leaked a corporate decision today. Sources say they actually leaked a declaration of war between ownership and understanding, between control and authenticity, between the boardroom and the locker room. And tonight at Raw, the war goes live on Netflix in front of millions of people who have no idea it is happening. Now, if you thought SmackDown was bad, if you thought last week was the moment that finally pushed you past your limit as a WWE fan, sources say you generally have not seen anything yet. But here is the difference between SmackDown and tonight. On SmackDown, TKO made their move, and nobody inside WWE was ready for it. Tonight, sources say somebody is ready. Somebody who has both versions of the plan. Somebody who knows exactly what TKO tried to impose and exactly what Triple H wanted to create. And somebody who is walking through that curtain tonight with something to prove. SeanzView Entertainment will be here immediately after Raw, the morning after, with the full breakdown and everything that happened and everything in between that was not supposed to happen. Subscribe right now, click the bell, and turn on all notifications, because tonight's follow-up video is going to be one of the most important ones we have talked about all week long, perhaps all year long, because we're already 4 months into this video. That is everything. A new video will drop concerning the fallout of Monday Night Raw. Subscribe now and do not miss it. We will see you on later on tonight, where if it's not brash, you know it's gonna be absolute trash, where there is never a crash. Bada bing, the realest guys in the rooms. How you doing? Subscribe.